Welcome back from the break, and it's good to know you have rejoined us again on the program. Good morning, Abuja, and it is coming to you from the Unity Station LCA Channel 5. Now, we all know that food is one of the major necessities of man. And this morning, we'll be looking at the effect of climate change on food production. And this morning, I've been joined with a legal practitioner and also expert in environmental law. Help me welcome Oloro Boluwaji Peter to the program. Good to have you on our show this morning.
Thank you so much,
All
ma'am.
right.
It's my pleasure coming
Okay.
here.
We know that food is very, very important to our existence every
Yes.
day. It's one of our essential necessity in life. And anything that brings about food shortage is a problem. This morning, we want to look at the effects of climate change on food production. Now, let's start it this way. What is climate change for a layman to understand?
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right.
So when we're talking about the climate change, what's it all about? Climate change is a long time shift in temperature and weather pattern, and we have um, some factors that causes climate change.
Okay.
One, overfishing. We have deforestation.
Okay.
We have vehicles and transportation, and we have some other factors. Uh, Erosion also is part of
Sure,
causes
yes, it's part of
of
it.
climate change, the causes of climate change. Now, let me use erosion as a cause study.
Okay.
Most times when farmers, when erosion comes when during rainy season, and when erosion comes, you find out that farmers find it difficult to harvest and to plant anything they want to plant on their farm. Why? Because most of the tools, the ground is already soaked with
So,
erosion,
yeah.
and when you look at that, they find it very difficult. And without rigging or without planting, there's no way you harvest. And when you don't harvest, it will affect the community, it will affect Nigeria, it will affect the whole world. And there's no way a farmer will reach out. There's something in law you can't give what you don't have.
You can't give what you
Yes,
don't
so
have.
when you don't plant, when there is erosion, definitely you won't be able to harvest. And when you don't harvest, you can't give out anything.
Thank you very much for your responses so far. Now, let's make progress. Now that we're talking about the effect of climate change on food production, I want us to bring it down to the prices of food in the market.
In the market.
Anything that affects the production of the crops from the farm, it also affects the
Affects,
price
yeah.
as well. So, how does it affect the prices of food
In the
that we
market.
purchase in the market?
I would say it all starts from the farmer itself
Okay.
and the planting of
Okay.
the seed.
Okay.
Just like when you harvest your seed, anything you've planted, you take it to the market, you look at the factor, the effect, all the losses you've incurred. Now let me come down to the farmer itself. When a farmer wants to start rigging or planting, first thing you have to do is to clear the bush,
Yes.
and this involves you bringing tractors and people who are experts in that. They do that. You incur more money in it, and then all those things. So now when the stuff crop is ready
For
to
harvest,
for
yeah.
harvest and to be sold out, you discover that even the farmer will want to increase the price, because now things are not very, very, very cheap again. Now transportation, when the stores are the crops are ready, you want to take it to the market, even the
It brings
transporters,
a lot of factors.
they will collect money. And why? Because even the fuel is part of the reason why even a transporter will want to charge you more. And when you look at all the factors and all this thing, you end up that even in the market, their price you bought this certain stuff a day before. When you get to the market, you discover it has increased sporadically, and you wonder what's happening. So these are the reasons. When you look at even the damages and all the money a farmer has incurred, has put in
They want to
the
put it
exactly.
when the crops is yielded and they want to sell it out.
Exactly.
They
You
want
will
to have their
still
return.
exactly. So it's trade by barter.
Okay. And now let's come down to economic cost of this climate change you're talking about. You listed a number of them when you were trying to respond to one of our questions earlier. What do you think are the economic costs of climate change on agriculture generally? You know, it takes a lot to preserve.
Yes.
It takes a lot. What do you think should be put into consideration?
Okay. First and foremost, I think like I said, you can't give what you don't
You
have.
don't have.
Yes. You do visibility study first. Look at the environment you want to start with. If it's okay by you and it's not a place where it will consume much. Because what we have now is you see some persons that are not grounded in farming.
Okay.
Just because they see somebody doing it, they will want to go into it. And at the end of the day, they end up spending a lot of money. I feel the best way you can go with all this, for you not to incur costs is look for a place, a bush where you think you can, which is fertile. Even if you put like 300,000, depending on what you want to put. You don't expect somebody that wants to farm maize, they want to farm beans, they want to farm rice. Even if it's not rice, what's it called? This soya beans and what have you. You don't expect the person to just put like 100,000. No, since you're expecting much, you put much, you invest much, and at the end of the day, you notice you get that money you've put, you will get it times three.
I thank you so much. I won't let you go until you give us your final word and your word of advice. So this is the time.
Okay. My advice: deforestation is a harmful tools to our climate change in Nigeria. Our advice: we deviate from it, keep our environment clean, and farming is also important. When you are farming, do your visibility study very well, and after everything, you discover that you have a lot to gain at the end of the
On
tunnel.
per harvest.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much for your
Thank you,
time with
madam.
us this morning.
Thank you,
We do
madam.
really, really appreciate you.
I'm very grateful.
All right. Yes, we have been talking about the effect of climate change on food production, and our resource person this morning has talked to us a lot. He has advised us to stay away from felling of trees. If you want to go into farming, do your visibility studies very well and ensure you keep your environment clean because nature has its role to play when we talk about food production. And we've been talking to Oloro Boluwaji Peters. Thank you
Oloro.
so much for your
Thank you,
time with us
madam.
this
I'm
morning. We
very
do really
grateful
appreciate you.
to have me there.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Okay, the program is Good Morning Abuja. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll have more for you. Stay with us, please. Good to know you have rejoined us again on the program Good Morning Abuja, showing only on the Unity Station NTA Channel 5. And now to health matters. We want to talk about one sickness that when you hear the name of the sickness, there's a feeling around it, talking about cancer. This morning, we will be talking about what is cancer, treatment, symptoms, management as a whole. And this morning, I have been joined with the President and Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian Cancer Society, Dr. Omonisi Abidemi, to talk to us more on what their society is doing and what we can do in the management of cancer. Sir, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for
All
having me.
right,
Thank you.
okay. All right. This morning, I want to talk about the generality of cancer management. And I want you to talk to us from a layman's understanding definition what cancer is all about.
Thank you very much for inviting me to share thoughts on this very important topic. Let me first mention that cancer is a public health concern as far as most country is concerned, particularly so in Nigeria.
Okay.
I'm sure when you were growing up, you only heard of cancer, people having cancer. But now if I ask you, I'm sure you have family members, members of your community, members of your church that have died of cancer. The rich die of cancer, the poor die of cancer. So cancer does not respect, age or, social affiliation, and when we talk about cancer, our forefathers in different languages has name for it. Yoruba, for example, call it jejere. meaning a disease that eats off the body. So therefore means that cancer has been in existence, for many years. A matter of fact, people that did autopsy on some dead body, particularly in Egypt and other countries where they preserve bodies, form of mummies, discovered that some people die of cancer, as far as 2,000 years ago. So cancer actually has been in existence, but what we're having now is that we're having increased incidence of cancer.
Okay.
In this part of the world, we are known, to be battling with communicable diseases, like tuberculosis, cholera, but what we're having now, we're having a transition from communicable disease to non-communicable disease. And there are several reasons, why we have, that happening.
Okay.
So literally, every cell in the body, is subjected to regulation.
Okay.
For example, there's no cell that's empowered to live forever. Cell half-life. Once that half-life is that the cell can live for that number of periods and the cell will die naturally, and a new one will come. So the body have a system of regulating that. So at the end of the day, the positive balance and the negative balance will be zero. For example, in the tongue, if you have 100 cells in the tongue, and they are programmed to live for 100 days, at the end of 100 days, all the 100 cells will die off and new one will come on board, exactly 100. But the problem is also in cancer. For cancer will be empowered. From one cell, you can divide to 100. From 100, you can have 1 million, 1 billion. So their growth is not regulated. They live an independent, cycle. They are not regulated by the body control system. And that is the problem with cancer. Therefore means that a cell that is proliferating, growing very fastly, that means it will outweigh the available resources in the body. That's why you see that they are very emaciated. If you see a patient that has cancer, you will know, you don't have to tell you, because the sick person is so emaciated, and lost a lot of weight. Why? Because you have high metabolic activity in the cell. So in summary, cancer cells are cells, that their growth rate is not regulated.
Their growth rate is not regulated. Now, how can someone contact cancer? Is it hereditary? How does it come? Because it's a cell that keeps multiplying, like you say. How does it come?
Well, there are three major ways where cancer acquired causes of cancer. Number one, what we call genetic, is familiar in origin. There are certain genetic alteration in the body that made it to cancer. That's why some individual, they say cancer around in the family. I was in my state, Kogi State, some years ago on the medical mission,
Okay.
and during the medical mission, our team was, informed that there's somebody in a particular house that had been locked up for many months. And we went there, to see what is happening. Only for us to see us from getting breast cancer. And the family mentioned to us that, our mother also died in this fashion, 2 years ago. Our mother has boy, around her breast, the same pattern. And then she also is following the same path. So that means that, there's a family history. And so cancer can be inherited. And that's why, maybe when I discuss under prevention, that's why we ask people, once they have a history of family, someone you have found has cancer, they must go for genetic testing and for other common tests. Another one is what we call, environmental factor.
Okay.
And that one is, quite a number of factors. Matter of fact, that is the major contributing cause of cancer. Under that, we have infection. There are some infections, some diseases that can predispose to cancer, like hepatitis B.
Okay.
Who die hepatitis B, especially chronic hepatitis, if it's not treated, the infection can destroy the liver, and at the end of the day, they may end up having liver cancer, that we call hepatocellular carcinoma.
Okay.
Patients that also have schistosomiasis, for example, Kebbi and Sokoto, some years ago, they have highest incidence of bladder cancer in the country.
Wow.
And what is the link? Because there's endemicity of urinary schistosomiasis there. So infection can also lead to cancer. So apart from that, in the environment, we have diet.
Lifestyle.
And that is major contributor. Diet. People eat a lot. Maize, for example, there are certain food that believed to predispose to cancer. Red meat, for example, have been linked to colorectal cancer and also prostate cancer. High fatty food. So that is very important, and that's why we encourage people to eat what we call rainbow diet. We discussed that later. Of course, in the environment also you have radiation, and that is very, very important. A matter of fact, there are two major important causes of virtually all cancer. Mention any cancer, and you have to mention one cause. Just mention radiation and cigarette smoking. We always correct. So radiation is a very, very important, cause of, cancer. And that's why in the hospital centers where they expose to radiation, there are regulations, how, they must beam it and how human being could be exposed to it. So radiation is one important cause. Also in the environment, lifestyle, as you have mentioned, sedentary lifestyle. Our forefathers can walk several kilometers.
Now we can't.
But now, even from the station to the main, you have to probably drive. In fact, some people, if possible, in their bedroom, you want to use the toilet, remotely, less a machine just take them from the living room to their toilet. People don't exercise, people don't work, sedentary lifestyle. It's a major factor because why? It can promote obesity. And there are cancers that are linked to obesity, like breast cancer and endometrial carcinoma. So it's very important that we take note of that.
Okay, now that you've told us about what cancer it's all about and the symptoms and the causes, I want us to talk about the prevention because it is always said that prevention is better than cure. You will respond to that, but let's quickly break this program. When we come back, you talk to us more on what your society is doing. Yes, we are here and we are talking about cancer management. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll still bring you more on the topic. Welcome back, and the program is Good Morning Abuja, and it is showing only on the Unity Station. We are still talking about cancer management. Before we went on the break, I said when we come back, you talk to us about prevention. It's better we prevent it than having all of these causes you're mentioning this morning. Let's take us through the prevention.
Preventing cancer, one thing that's very important for us to know to do assessment on the cancer burden that we have. Because the truth is that there's no country in the world that has the resources to manage cancer. I said, cancer originates from a particular cell. And in our body, we have more than 1 billion cells. That's why you have all manner of cancer. In fact, the list of cancer is still ongoing. As new one is being discovered, they are added to the list. So we must assess the burden. That is very important, so that government will know which particular cancer to give priority.
Okay.
In terms of prevention, number one, genetic testing is very important. For those that have family history of cancer, they must go for regular checkup. For example, somebody, especially first degree relative, you have in a family, a mother died of breast cancer, and there's a first degree male and female, second female, they must go for regular checkup. That is very important, so that to be sure that if there's any lump there, they get that removed. Then, of course, mention diet, very important contributing factor. Diet, we encourage rainbow diet, or call rainbow.
What is rainbow diet?
Rainbow has many colors, about 7 colors. So any food you are eating that does not have many colors,
it's not rainbow diet.
Green, for example, represent vegetables. Red represent tomato, they have a role to play because they generate, antioxidants that actually fight apart. So we encourage balanced diet, or call rainbow diet. Fruit and vegetables, so people consume that, and those are not too expensive. We have fruit in our environment, that is also very important. Exercise to address anything like that. People must move, exercise. Luckily, we have gyms all over, you book there in exercise. You can walk, in your street, places where you can walk. Of course, with increase in PMS now in the country, we don't have to ask people to walk. People have started working already.
We have been advised and we are working already. Okay, let's come down to your society. What role are you, is your society doing to help in the management of cancer?
Yeah, thank you very much. Nigerian Cancer Society was actually established on the 15th of October 1968.
Wow.
And is the oldest cancer organization in Africa, and largest by membership. In our organization, we have, we call it individual members, chief people involved cancer advocacy, cancer research, and all CSO, civil society organization, as because of cancer, the member of organization. And we have as our major objective, to educate Nigerians, on cancer. That's why we are here. Create awareness. Also involved in cancer research and diagnosis. We're also involved in treatment, and also involved in the cancer care continuum, palliative and the survivorship. It will just to know that in our society we also have cancer survivors.
Yes.
So in other words, cancer really is not a killer disease.
Yes, because
if detected very early.
Once people say this person is affected of cancer, everybody takes off.
Oh, we have in our midst, survivor more than 27 years old, it's 7 years.
Wow.
Someone that has breast cancer, Last time she's still living, she's over 70. It's in the public domain, Her Excellency, the Minister Past and First Lady of Ondo State, Dr. Betty, Maya Akridolu. She's a best survivor, best, cancer survivor. She's a member of society. She was diagnosed 27 years ago. But her case was detected very early. And she also responded to prompt treatment. So the issue is early early detection, and also respond to prompt treatment. If it's there, you come early, and you go to the month to go and pray, that's the problem. There was just a case.
It's not my
Yes, there was just a case that a doctor in Kogi State discussed, someone in Kogi State discussed with me. She was diagnosed with cervical cancer, advised to go for treatment. She went to the month to go and pray. Came back. When she came back, the cancer is already advanced. At this point, there's nothing they can do except palliative. Because it has spread to the bladder, to other places, and she, critical condition.
So how can this palliative treatment help? We know when it has grown to stage what is management. How can it help?
The bottom line is that we must ask our people, to go for regular checkup. Early discover, early stages is better. If cancer is discovered in the early stages, there's nothing you can do. But patient present advanced, cancer stage 4. What do you want the physician to do? It's just palliative. You do one issue, there's anemia, you give blood. There's pain, you give palliative, and you wish patient the best. But that is why we keep on, doing health education, awareness everywhere. Let people go for medical checkup.
So as we do this education, which what we are doing now is part of it.
Yeah.
How well do you think people are responding to coming out to do screening? Because what we do in this part of the world, it is when you're down, that is when you go to the hospital. How well are people encouraged to come out for screening?
Yeah, before I answer that question, what we are doing, actually, the awareness is also not adequate. We must tell ourselves the truth. Over the years, people are focused, how many people in rural community have access to this program? We just concentrate in cities, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and big cities. Say we are doing awareness, doing cancer work, doing those things. What about people in the rural community?
So,
our plan now, our challenge now is to get it to to local government level.
Okay.
And luckily for us, we have members of organization in all local government in the country. All the CSOs we have there. Okay. So what we're trying to do now is to network with the state chapters, establish the state, then the state, we also have local government. And not only that, most of the campaign is usually in English. But our plan is to translate this, get community leaders in every community, that will train to translate indigenous languages. If we're in a community where they speak Kanuri, for example, we educate them Kanuri, not English. So that gap is there, and that's why there's a communication. Most of the cases we see, they are from rural communities. Yes. It's not like people living in Abuja or people living in Lagos. No, from rural community. I know most Nigerians, more than 70%, inside the rural community.
We have to take
so our focus now is to take the campaign to the grassroots level. And our plan is to partner with a strategic agency, yesterday I was in a meeting with one politician to see how we can, discuss with the senators. They are central districts, so our plan is also to partner with them, so as some of them actually engage in medical missions. But those missions is to do blood pressure, diabetic. We are trying to incorporate cancer screening to what they do. I was in a meeting late night, to discuss one of the senators. We're also trying to partner with the governor. The state governors are not doing enough in their state. They have this mentality that anything cancer control information in Nigeria is for the federal government.
And it's not.
And fair must be, mentioned. The federal government has done a lot in the cancer space in the country. Except few states where we have activity, many of those governors are not issue concern. And their citizens are dying of cancer. It surprise you to know that some states does not have mammogram. Simple mammogram they use to for cancer. Patient has to travel from one state to another state to have the mammogram done. So the governor does not show concern many of the states. And our plan is to reach out to the Nigerian Governors Forum. I plan to meet with the chairman of the forum, so that I'll appear in the plenary session and appeal to them. They must show concern.
Yes, they have to show concern, and the appeal is very, very important. They are giving us sign already, but before I let you go, you quickly talk to us about the treatments and how we can manage cancer.
Yes, there are different treatment modalities. I've said that what we advocate is early cases. Once early cases, cancer is not just sentence.
It's not.
Once you speak early stage 1, stage 2, there are a lot of things we can do to manage the cases. And luckily, we have experts in the country that can manage all manner of cancers. and that is available. Surgeries there, in some cases they remove, the mass. That's why some people to do mastectomy, remove the breast if there's a case. Radiotherapy is also there, to manage that kind of patient. And of course, chemotherapy, you give drug is also there. But most importantly, there's what we call psycho-oncology now. To address the psychological aspect.
Yes.
Many of our patients have fear. What is just saying you have, breast cancer? The next thing, hey, I need to travel to the village to show you where you bury me. They start pride. How much are you selling caskets? It's not. Fear keeping up the patient and even the cancer. Before you know it, their blood pressure will shoot up. They don't have hypertension and not even the cancer.
I think we need to discuss further on this topic because you're doing great and we love what you are doing. You are saying cancer is not a death sentence. If you detect it early, we can manage it.
Absolutely.
At this point, we want to say thank you so much for your time with us on the show. Good morning, Abuja. Our health is paramount. We must give attention to our health. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. Yes, we have been talking about cancer management, and Dr. Omonisi Abidemi, the President and Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian Cancer Society, has talked to us well this morning and has advised us cancer is not a death sentence. If you go for screening as early as you can, make it a habit. Our health is very, very paramount. Now let's go on this quick break. When we come back, we have more for you. Stay with us, please. Good to know you are still with us on the program. Good morning, Abuja, and it is showing only on the Unity Station NCA Channel 5. And now to Road Matters. And this morning I have been joined with two great men from the organization of the Federal Road Safety Corps to talk to us about the flag off of Ember Month. To my right, I have CCCI Mutar, Corps Commander, Sector Commander, FCT Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps. And next to him is Prince Archie Julius. He is the Chairman Coalition of Road Safety NGOs in Nigeria. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
It's good to have you join us on the program to talk to us about road matters.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, let me start from you, CCC Muta. This is Ember Month. It's no longer news. It's your tradition. Every Ember Month you do Ember Month flag off.
Yes.
Why did you decide to do this year?
This year, we have a new co-marshal who is observing his first Ember Month.
Okay.
And the way he does his own things is quite unique.
Okay.
In the past, when we observe Ember Month campaign, the flag off is always done in motor parks. You go gather maybe members of the union. Most of the time, the drivers must have gone on their commercial activities, and so you don't get to get them. So this time he felt, well, I think we needed to think out of the box.
Okay.
And so this year he ordered and directed that today being 6th day of November 2024, all sector commands, that's the state commands I mean, are supposed to observe a road walk.
Okay.
And so the activities actually commenced yesterday with a press brief.
Okay.
And so all sector commanders were directed to do same. And so today we're here. We started the road walk this morning in the FCT from AYAN from 7 o'clock this morning. We went to Central Business District and then we went to the Finance Junction down to Area 10. Now it's symbolic because all of the unit commands, we have about 20 unit commands in the FCT.
Okay.
The unit commander Nyanya and Karo handed over a symbolic banner to the unit commander Central Business District. And so the march continued and then it came to Central Business District. So all of the unit commanders are present, and so this is really collective for all of us. In addition to that, we have also involved the NGOs. You can see the coalition of road safety NGOs in Nigeria is also here with us. NEMA is also here with us today. And we also have other organizations came to join us in this symbolic march.
Wow. Okay.
And it was because of the symbolic theme that the co-marshal has chosen this year.
Okay.
That we should speak up against dangerous driving.
Okay, so yes. I'll come back to you to talk to us more on the topic, the theme for the year. Let me go to Prince Archie. You are the chairman coalition of road safety NGOs in Nigeria. What is your participation in the Ember Month flag off?
Yes, our participation is unique.
Okay.
In a way that enhance advocacy, remain in panacea, to road accident prevention. What is happening today is an advocacy that has been transformed by the new Corps Marshal, facilitated by the sector commander that is sitting with us here, and it has been advanced and approved nationwide. We're happy to do that. All the CSOs and NGOs nationwide are happy for this renewed strategy. You cannot be doing the same thing and expect a different result. The new Corps Marshal came up with this strategy with the support of the FCT sector command. This road work is like as an mode, let me say, it's an advanced advocacy system that send the message across to the people. You don't keep blaming, you need to know the symptoms for road accidents and all that. Right away, we know that the driver sometimes, when it happens, they escape and the passengers are the victim. Renewing the strategy and letting the people know, if you're in a vehicle and the driver is overspeeding, you call him to order. If you're in a vehicle and the driver is making phone call, you call him to order. Although they may get annoyed and all that, that is not an issue. You speak up. Why did war against discipline succeed? War against discipline succeed that time because everybody was like the police. You cannot pace on the road. You don't know the next person that's coming to you. You must be on a queue in a bank. That's where all this thing started.
Orderliness.
Yes. So based on the present scenario and the idea that the new Corps Marshal has brought in place, we are fully committed to support this, initiative. It should not even be during December. Let it be a continuous process so that we can continue to advance this campaign and reduce the road accident, crashes and death on our highways in line with the UN Decade of Action by 50% between 2021 and 2030.
Great, and we too, we are joining in the campaign from our end here. Let me come back to you, Sector Commander. The theme for this year and why it is very, very necessary.
Yes, it is necessary because here I've started letting the cat out of the bag. The theme for this year is that everyone, all passengers should speak up against dangerous driving because crashes kill more passengers than drivers. Sometimes you have 30 people in a vehicle, sometimes 20, and so on. And so only one driver. And so if the driver is driving dangerously, it is your responsibility as a passenger to tell the driver, this is not right. Please go at the stipulated speed limit because we want to all get to our destination safely. If the driver is making a call, you tell me, driver, you are making a call, this is distracting you, we are not going to allow this. So if all the passengers are telling, because they are also stakeholders on this trip, if they keep quiet, the driver drives them to their death. It's really very unfortunate. So that's why we are speaking now to members of the public, telling them, look, they are also stakeholders in whatever trip they are on, so that all of us together can fight this scourge of road traffic crashes. Because each time a driver crashes, is only one driver to a number of people. So the more number of people that are able to hear this message, the more all of us will carry, because road safety is a collective responsibility. All of us are involved. So that is the message we said that we're carrying, especially to residents of the city, and indeed to everybody in the country, that passengers must be involved. Every one of us must be involved. On every trip, we must always drive from point A to point B safely.
Okay, thank you so much. And let me come to you, Prince Achi. Like Sector Commander has said, everyone must be involved. And now, this is bringing me to the management of the attitude of the drivers on our road. When you tend to correct them, when you tend to tell them the right thing to do, it becomes a fight.
Correct.
So how do we do it?
Yeah, it's very simple. If you are traveling in a vehicle, along the line, you have police posts, you have a FRSC unit point and all those things, security agents along the line. If you are correcting a driver is not listening to you, target the next post and report that scenario there. The FRSC has a unique number that you can call, for rescue and emergencies. For example, on the other side, on the flip side, some passengers who normally fly, when they move on the road, they want to use the same measure to measure the speed. Yes. They are calling the driver to speed. Passengers should call that kind of person in the vehicle to order. If you want to move and you want to move from Lagos to Abuja in 1.5 hours or in 1 hour, you take a flight. You cannot be on the road and expect the driver to move at that same speed. Possible. But they don't know all this. So if you are moving on the road, you time yourself and check the hours that it will take you from Lagos to Abuja by road, so that you don't distract and cause crashes on the road. So that's the situation. We are fully committed, and then to addressing the drivers or calling them to order, it should be a priority in the minds of all passengers that travels on the road. Okay. And this campaign needs to continue. The media even are much needed in this. so that people
Like
can
Sector
get.
Commander says, it's a collective responsibility.
It's a collective responsibility.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, and that is bringing me back to him before we go. What are the sister agencies doing to help out in this campaign?
Well, in the FCT, we are all together. Currently, we are doing Operation Sweep in the FCT, so you can see that we are together. And that includes also road traffic infractions that motorists are involved in the FCT. There are so many infractions. And well, let me also divert a little bit to say that in addition to the fact that when you talk to a driver and he doesn't listen to you, apart from reporting them to either any of the checkpoints, whether military checkpoint, whether police checkpoint, any security agency checkpoint, you can also call 122. That is the FRSC call center. Call 122. Or now there's an app, that all Nigerians, have been privileged to. You can download an FRSC app that is real life, real time. You can report any driver who is not listening to you. The goal is for you to get to your destination safely. It's not how fast you get there that is important, but that you should get there alive. So you plan your trip so that you don't have to run against time. Okay. That's what we keep advising people. So this is very important, and it's also key.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me come to you, Prince, quickly. Your advice, the tips we need to know on our roads before we go.
No, texting and driving is another factor that's responsible for road traffic crashes. Overspeeding, double overtaking, and so many other, vices. We need to move slow and steady, win the race.
Win the race.
It's not about you being ahead or you are not competing on the highway.
At all.
Obey traffic rules and regulations and ensure you maintain your lane, and respect traffic officers, road safety officers, and others on the way. If you see cars slowing down, don't overtake. They might have seen something.
Yes.
Why? That's why they are slowing down. We see scenarios where erosions cut into the road and other vehicles are slowing down. Other vehicles run into the ditch and the flood takes them off. You understand? So when you are moving on the road and you see vehicles slowing down, observe the trend, study what is happening, and ensure that you work as a team while you are driving. You study the situation. Don't just rush and think you are smart. You are the first person that get to Lagos. You are the first person there is no trophy for that.
No trophy
the trophy for speeding is in the grave.
Wow. I think they need to hear your final words and your tips before we go.
Distraction is a very major challenge, in driving these days. So fortunately, we have gadgets, and these gadgets are misused by a lot of us. If you look at the manual that comes with these gadgets, especially our phones, you are not expected to operate this facility while driving because it's distraction. We're talking about distraction. Because studies have shown that you have 40% chances of getting yourself involved in a crash if you are distracted. So the passengers should speak up to drivers. I've seen a number of times where drivers are making calls while they're driving. This is dangerous. This is not healthy for us. And it's not healthy for those that are in the vehicle. Because whatever happens, you're also involved in this. So we call on everybody. Because it is a collective responsibility. Let us not leave anybody to go and kill us simply because they are providing service. The service should be provided and should be provided in a very safe and seamless manner. Yes. That's what we are calling on Nigerians.
Thank you so much for your time with us on the program this morning. I want to say kudos to what you and your men are doing on our road to ensure we get to our destination alive, which is very, very important. I appreciate it. Arrive alive. Thank you so much. And we have been talking to my left CCCI Muta, who is the corps commander, Sector Commander FCT Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps, and also Prince Archie Julius, who is the Chairman Coalition of Road Safety NGOs in Nigeria. And together we talked about Ember Month's flag off as well as the theme for the year. Speak up when you see wrong driving on the road, dangerous driving on the road. Speak up because anything that affects you affects the entire society. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll have more for you. Stay with us, please.